everybody. Welcome back to Mel's Board Game Room. Where me and my friend Kayla are doing our top 100 games of all the games that we've played in 2025. And we really built the, I don't know,
the suspense.
The suspense for like the top 10 because life happened. We got a little bit busy. I don't remember when the last one came up. This one was due to come up earlier than this, but I mean, a bunch of stuff was happening. I was in the hospital at one point because I'm allergic to allergy medicine. That's fun.
Yep.
And I mean, like, I'm really allergic to allergy medicine. And then I ended up joining Canadian Game Design Award as one of their coordinators. So that has also kept me quite busy. I don't know what Kayla's excuses are, but...
I got a new to me vehicle that required a lot of maintenance and anxiety.
Yeah, no, that's not fun.
No,
that's not fun.
It's all good now.
We would have rather doing this, honestly.
100%.
All right, well, let's get into our top 10. Now, I prepared the presentation, and it's funny because, like, when I had taken a print screen of the list that I had created, it's a long picture. So I had taken, like, a zoomed-in picture of, like, the top ones, and I skipped number 1 in that picture, and I'm like, what's my number 1? After I'm looking at number 2, it's like, whoa, that's like, and number 3 is like, what's better than this? And then I went to look at my list, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. No,
yeah. That's acceptable, I guess.
I'll allow it. But yeah, I know it's exciting. So we're going to start with our number 10, and we're starting with you, Kayla.
Okay, so my number 10, I'm very excited to talk about this one, is Emberleaf. So in Emberleaf, you're playing as a little Emberling, and you're coming back to your home in the forest after it was destroyed by some evil, awful dude. I don't know, thematic villain name. But over the course of the game, you're going to be exploring the forest and gathering resources and recruiting your little heroes and constructing villages in order to grow the community back from this devastation. So on your turn, you're going to choose one core action to either play a hero card from your hand onto your board that's in front of you there, or slide all of your cards to trigger their abilities. And these cards are, and their movement is kind of the heart of the game. It's the card dancing mechanism, and when you move them to activate their abilities, that allows you to move between clearings on the board. It helps you collect resources, fight in dangerous areas, build structures, and then also home villagers. So as they move, and depending on how you've set them up on your board, they can do combos and have different chain reaction effects that make the timing of when you choose to slide the cards and how you've set them up on the board really important, which for me feels very difficult to master. So you'll place these structures into these spaces in the clearing, which can be shared by multiple players. And then when you home the villagers onto those buildings, you score points based on how you've connected the different building types into these neighborhoods. And you also will have favor cards, which are essentially like goal cards is kind of the same thing. And they'll give you different bonuses or objectives that you're going to try and aim for. So, and then the other thing is the clearings that I talked about. So those are there's dangerous areas, and you can go in there, and that'll give you points. That's the big way to score points. Like some of them you can get like 8, and I think like when you get into the later part of the game, I think you can get like ones that score 15 points, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played in a little bit because Carla had my copy.
Oh,
Um,
right.
but they give you points, but it also advances the shared tracker that leads to you being able to get a trophy, and that's the majority. Maybe the trophy is 15 points. Something connected to doing dangerous areas is a high point count. Um, yeah, and then once the trophies are collected, that leads to the end of the game. And so it's a little bit of a race to try and do all of these different things. It's I wouldn't say it's a complex game. I feel like it really like it's a little bit of a longer teach, but each of the parts are really well connected, and as soon as you
Mhm.
understand, and I might be kind of paraphrasing because I've played a lot of games, so I think if you play games and as you go through it, everything does really seem to seamlessly fit together. So it's a strategic engine building game with that card dancing twist to it, where you have to kind of be good at long term planning, which, if you've watched all of these episodes, you know that is not my strong suit, but is something that I really like the idea of attempting to be better at. So this one actually, it's a longer game.
Mhm.
Uh, and one that I actually excitingly will play solo. I have actually,
Oh.
like, in terms of long term, I've played this one twice already solo. I got it at not the last card treat, but the card treat before I won
Okay.
it, and it took me a little
Oh,
bit to
wow,
get it
that's quite the
off.
prize.
Yeah, so it took me a little bit to get it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure that my spouse loved it. Just because of the length, but it's so cute. Like the little animals
Very
are
adoring.
so cute, and yeah, and just the mechanism is so scratchy. And playing it solo, you play against your sister, and she's tough to beat. Like there's I don't even know. I don't know if Carla played it solo or not, but I know her and Irina really wanted to try it, so she learned it and taught it to Irina,
Nice.
and I think Irina really liked it too. So, yeah, that's my number 10, Emberleaf. You played this one, you liked it, yeah?
Yeah, you brought it to me. You and Carla played it at my house. Remember, she gave me like the turtle thinking nobody will ever use that. And then I
Oh yeah.
combo tastic that thing to like almost every round. That mechanism, that card dancing mechanism is so cool. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, I really like it too.
Nice. Alrighty. My number 10 is a game that I played for the very first time, I want to say in 2018, and that is Minerva. I was visiting in, well, no, I was working in Edmonton, and I called up our friend Arsan, and I'm like, Kate, I'm in Edmonton. Like, I had met him once, maybe. Like, it's like, are you playing games? And I ended up going over, and we ended up playing this one, and we ended up playing Soul. And this one, and I was fairly new into board games, and I was so lost, so lost. It was like, okay, it's a cool game. I could tell it's a cool game. I had like no really idea what I was doing. I did terrible. And then at FallCon, it was in the auction, and I ended up winning the bid
Oh,
for it. And then I opened it, and it's like a deluxe version. So I
nice.
really wanted to play it. And I was like, hey, I brought it to Malcon, and I like almost manhandled people into playing it with me. And this is a picture of us playing it at Malcon last year. And it's so good. It was much better than when I had played it before. But with this one, what's interesting, it's like a tile drafting game. Well, you're gonna need to purchase tile, but like you're going to be buying these tiles and you add them to your tableau. And we each have our own tableau. And you're gonna add them in like grid. You can add it like horizontal or vertical.
Mhm.
And at some points, you can add those little workers onto to activate the row or the column that you're going on, right? Like you're going to put them. But once it's been activated and there's a guy on there, you cannot activate it again. So you
Oh,
really got to plan. Like unless you get something that allow you to bring it back, then it opens it up again to activate again. And it's interesting because you like build it up and then it's like, okay, I'm activating this, and you're activating like 10 tiles and it's amazing. But if you haven't built elsewhere, all of your other thing you got going are weak, right? Like, so you really want
right.
to plan in ways of activating, like, because understanding you're going to activate multiple ways and you're trying to line things up to work with each other as well as best as you can. But I the second play of it, I was like, oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. So I am glad I bought it. I was so completely lost the first time I played it. But it's amazing. And that is my number 10, Minerva.
Nice. I have not played that one. It looks like similar art to uh-oh. Uh core oh
I don't
shoot.
know.
It's very beige. It's very beige. It was on my list recently. Core.
Concordia?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. Like I don't remember Concordia's like art. Like this one doesn't feel as beigey as Concordia is.
Hmm.
But yeah, the gameplay is completely different. If there's a
Yes.
resemblance in art, that's where the resemblance ends.
There.
Yeah. All right, on to number 9, and we're back with you.
Okay. My number 9 is Gems of Iridecia. And
Yes.
I specifically have the fancy, shiny, iridescent edition. I actually played this right at the end of 2025 because it was a Christmas gift from
Yes.
my spouse. And it's very pretty. In this one, the theme I hadn't actually read at the beginning, which is interesting because I actually really, really like this rule book. I think this is possibly one of my favorite rule books. If we had like, top 10 favorite rule books, I think this one would be like probably top 3. Really
Oh,
well
wow.
done. But
Nice.
this one, your little creatures, and you left your planet because like some end cataclysm event happened, and then the world has now kind of repaired itself, so you're allowed to go back, and so you're going back into this sort of land that used to be your ancestors' land with all of these ancient relics, and then these powerful gems, and so you're wanting to kind of explore all of that and then also become the ruler and claim the throne. So you're going to be playing over a number of turns, and you're going to be moving, I would say, up the map of hex tiles, and you're going to be revealing this world as you go. So you have 2 main actions on your turn. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to reveal 2 tiles that are in front of you or beside your little explorer, and then you're going to move on to one of the revealed tiles. So then you'll gain the gem that's shown on it, and there's different colors of gems. There's blue and purple and yellow, and I'm not going to remember all the colors, but there's a lot of different colors. And if you have the iridescent edition, they're also very shiny.
Very shiny.
Um, yeah, so you'll gain the gem shown on it, and then any bonuses such as coins or points or special dice that's shown on the tile. And then after that, you will take an optional action. And for that, you can mine more gems. So you can spend, I think it's 3 coins and roll the dice. So on the far side of the board in this picture, there's different colors. Oh, that would be the colors of the gems. So there's purple, yellow, green, blue for the gems. And so what you're trying to do is when you roll your dice, which are the dice closest to us here on the board, on the picture here, and you're wanting to get you're wanting to meet or beat whatever the market value of that gem is. So if you roll 2 dice and let's say the market value is at 3 and you rolled a 3 and a 4, then you'd get 2 of those gems of that color. So if you landed on a blue space and then you rolled to mine more blue, then you'd have a total of 3 blue gems that you get to take into your holdings. And so then the next thing you can do is you can buy and play item cards. See, there's also this market where you can pay money and you can get these little one-time effect cards, so they can help modify dice or gain extra turns. Trying to think of what else they do. Yeah, mostly it's like different ways of modifying dice. Or you can sell gems. So if you just got those 3 blue gems and, right now it's set at a market value of 3, then you can sell one of your blue gems and get 3 coins back. So you paid 3 coins to roll the dice, and then you got your 3 coins back, so it didn't cost you anything. And then after you've done all the optional ones that you want to do, then you can restore relics. So at the top of the board, there's different relics, and they'll have different sort of set collections. So they're saying for this one, you need, 2 blue and a yellow. So if you have 2 blue and a yellow, then you can restore the relic giving the specific gem combination, and then you will score the points on that. And then depending on the set collection of type of gem or type of relic, then you'll get points at the end of the game for that. And basically what you're doing is you're moving up the board to the final row where the castle is. And once one player reaches it, they gain the first player bonus, which is the iridescent gem, the gem, the iridecia gem, and that has, I think it's a 10-point bonus. And then if there's other players still on the board, then that first player gets to actually start removing tiles, which can kind of force the players that are left on the board to have a little bit of a trickier time moving up. So they want to try and get up there so they don't get stuck. And then basically when all the players have gotten up to the castle, you score everything. So you score your relics, the gem sets, your objectives, and then any leftover resources, and the player with the most points wins. So it's very simple. The rule book is very well done. The artwork is very bright. And if you get the fancy edition, it's very shiny. That I think, the other thing I didn't say is, so if I landed on the blue tile or on a blue gem, then what happens, this is kind of the important part of the game, the dice on the right that sets the value, if I've picked up a blue gem, then it increases it. So if it's the value of 3 at the end of my turn that I was talking about, then what happens is it's going to increase to a 4. So the next time that somebody wants to try and roll to mine the blue dice, then they need to roll a 4 or higher, or have something to modify the dice in order to increase their chances with. And then
it'll go from 6 to 1.
Yes, then it drops back down. And the reason for it to be good to drop back down is, yes, it's easier to roll, but the reason to be bad is when you go to sell, then the value of your gems has gone down. So it's got a little bit of an economic part of things in there, which I think you would like. Yeah, and it's really quick. That was when my spouse was looking for a game. Again, kind of going through all the games that we've played. The ones that my spouse doesn't like are the long games, so they're really hard for me to get to the table. This one is very quick, but has some like strategy to it, which means that I will consistently get my butt kicked. But that's okay because I quite like it. So that's my number 9, Gems of Iridecia.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It is so pretty. And I played it this year, a couple months ago, and I was like, who did I play this with? And I just went to check, and it was with Carla. So we played it on one of her trips over. So
Nice.
very neat. All righty. My number 9 is Grand Austria Hotel.
Oh.
And because, I mean, on the podcast, we do top 9 list all the time. And I think this game is on nearly every one of Carla's top 9 lists. And I'm like, I've never played it. And then at MelCon, because I normally do like like there's games available for sale. So a bit of a flea market at the MelCon event. And my friend Paul was selling this one, and I can't remember if I bought it from him or if he gave it to me as a birthday.
I think this was your birthday gift.
Yeah, so I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, because I think it was still in shrink. I was like, "You may want to try this one before," and he's like, "No, that's fine." And then so I got it. Carla came over, we played it, and I think I won. But there's so much aspect to this game that I really enjoy. First of all, I really like the action selection when it's like with the dice. So you roll the dice, you kind of sort them by what you've rolled, and those dice are going to be what the action are, and you're going to draft the dice from that. Now, also, the more dice you have on one action, the more powerful that action is, and you're going to draft one away, so it makes it a little less powerful for the next one. And then you have different action assigned to different number of dice, but then you can go and get different like employees that you can hire, and they're going to give you special ability. So some will allow you to kind of manipulate how the dice work, or to kind of be like, well, you can use this dice as this dice or whatever, like bunch of different things. And I ended up getting a card that was so helpful for that. And then you have these customers that comes, and then you serve them, and I think you're serving them a meal before you kind of assign them into a room, and you have to get the room prep and open, and then it like allows you to put the door, and then if you go, and you can send them to the room. And I think there's specialty rooms that are like special colored room that each one wants to go to. But as you complete these rooms, that kind of gives you different, like, I think rows and columns that you complete gives you different points, but then there's like they're divided in groupings as well. So completing a grouping will give you points. And then there's, and I don't remember the name of anything, but there's like, I don't know if it's like a reputation track that you're trying to go higher on, because if you don't reach a certain level, you're going to get negative points. Now, it's not as hard in the beginning because the level is fairly low, but it increases as you play. Everything in this game was very, very satisfying, and I understand why it makes every one of Carla's top 9 lists. It was such a neat game. I'm super thrilled that it's in my collection now, and I just need to get it played more and more. But that is my number 9, Grand Austria Hotel.
Yeah, I think I played that with you and Carla. I really liked it.
Yeah. Oh, that was like your first time playing it too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on to number 8, and we're back with you.
Okay. My number 8 is Nar. So in Nar, you're leading a band of Vikings. They're, raiders and traders and explorers. And they're sailing the seas in search of wealth and whatever reputation. So your goal is to build the most legendary Vikingness by recruiting the right crew and exploring different lands and turning your voyages into basically victory points. So it's actually really simple. When on the start of your turn, the first thing that happens is your reputation pays off. So there's like this little tracker for reputation. So if you've moved your little, I think it looks like a flamingo head, but it's supposed to be the little I don't know, whatever it's called on the top of a Viking ship that has whatever shape of animal. But they all just look like tiny little flamingo heads. So if you move that up, once you get to a certain point, then you get to move it like 1 point at the start of each of your turns, and then as you progress, then 2 points at the start of each of your turn, etc. And then after you've sort of checked your reputation, then you can either recruit or explore. So if you recruit, you're going to take one of these really pretty tarot-sized Viking cards, and you're going to add it down into your crew. But you're not just sort of adding the card down, you're building an engine with that. So
Yeah.
each Viking belongs to a different color, and then you stack the matching colors in these columns, and when you recruit, then you activate that column. So each of them lets you do different things. So the ones that here is the green one lets you gain a helmet. The red one here would let you gain points, and then the purple one would let you do bracelets. And if you had a blue one, you can kind of see this person on the left has a blue column. Then you'd get to activate the 1, 2, 3, 4 other blue ones with whatever the blue one in your hand is doing. So as you build up the column, obviously your engine gets stronger and stronger, or more sort of specialized. If you're like, ooh, I'm going to do, all blue with victory points, so I'm just going to place another blue and get 10 victory points. That's not really quite how that works, but it is how it works, but 10 is a lot. So if you don't recruit, then you can choose to explore. And so then what you're doing is you're sending your crew across the sea, and you're going to commit people to that journey. So it'll say on the place that you're exploring who has to go. And so you'll take Vikings from the columns, and you can choose which ones of certain colors to send on that journey to discover the new land. And then once you get that, you take the destination, and it goes on top of, you can kind of see above the green card there's like a yellow card that goes horizontal. So that is now part of their trade route, is the correct lingo for it. And those trade routes, those can be activated by using the bracelets, which is trading. So as you stack those also sort of build a trade engine. So if you have one, then you get to activate just the first narrow column on those. If you have 2 bracelets, then you get to do the 2 columns if you spend both of them. And then if you have 3 bracelets, you can spend all 3 to activate all 3 columns on each of your trade routes. So basically it keeps going as you sort of build your crew and expand your trade networks and build your reputation until somebody reaches 40 points, and then that triggers the final round, and the end is the person with the most points, and huzzah, you're the greatest Viking. It's really pretty, and it's like super scratchy, and there's like a lot of strategy to this one. Again, have not figured it out, but I really like the idea of trying.
Yeah, it's such a neat game. I played this one many times. I just recently bought my own copy around
I was
Christmas
shocked
time.
you didn't own a copy.
I know, well, everybody owned a copy, but I just hadn't had the chance to buy it yet. I try not to go shopping all the time. They just happen to, that the buying just seems to happen. I don't try. But I have the last time I played it, I won finally for the first time.
For the
I
first
normally
time.
lose by a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we'll see. And then I was like, I'm gonna try to play it a little bit different because I tend to spend as I build, and I spend almost as fast as I collect the cards. I never really build much of an engine, and apparently that's the wrong way of doing it because when I try to do it a little bit different, I did end up winning. So that was good. Great game though. All right.
Have you played with the expansion yet?
No.
Yeah, I played it at Gobfest, and I actually not sure it adds anything for me personally.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
and I'm like that with most expansions. So
I know. Yeah, but
yeah.
this one especially, I would say not. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
If things accidentally just fall into the cart, don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Okay, my number 8 is Dice Throne. Now I've put season 1 here. It could be season 2. It could be X-Men. Marvel. I haven't played X-Men, but I have Outcast and I have the Santa versus Krampus. I own a lot of Dice Throne. So when X-Men came up, I'm like, okay. And these are big boxes. Because I don't think I need that much Dice Throne. So I didn't back it. And then Outcast came up and I was like, okay, but I do need that one. So I own a lot of Dice Throne, but I really enjoy this game. I find it's such a great game for new players too, if you want to introduce somebody to a board game. This is a really neat one to introduce them to. I remember my first time playing it, I stopped the game halfway through. I was playing it at Shoebox. They didn't have a copy. It was part of the library they had available to play. But I had seen it at Pandora's Books, and I interrupted the game so I could call Pandora's Book and say, put that aside. I'm coming over today. And then drove from Calgary to Olds to go and pick this up because I was so impressed with my very first play of this. And I have played this game many times since, and it's amazing for a dice chucking game how well balanced all of the characters are. And I've put season 1 here because that tends to be the one I gravitate to the most. I think it's still my favorite. And you have 8 different characters in each one, and they all do something a little bit different. And then the next one has another 8, and there's another 8, and then there's an adventure box that you can get that's going to turn this into a cooperative kind of dungeon crawl. But in its core, this is ideally a 1 versus 1, although we've played multiple players often, but I like it best at 1 versus 1, kind of Yahtzee battle to the death. And you open your character card, and then their board has all of these different combination of attack that you can try to activate depending on the symbol you rolls or the number that you roll. And you can re-roll. It's okay, well, I'm really hoping to do this one. And then you roll, and then maybe you get 3 6s. And you're like, oh, if I get, is it 2 more 6? Then I could get the ultimate attack. And then it's like, I'm going to try for it. And then you roll, and you don't get another 6, and you do a final roll, and maybe you get 1 more 6, but you have a card that allows you to modify, but somebody else, the other player, has a card that will modify your roll as well, so they can try to stop you from getting an ultimate, because the ultimate attack hurts, and you can't defend, because most of the time when you get attacked, you can roll your defense action as a retaliation, and depending on your character, you're either going to hit back, you're going to avoid some of the hits, maybe you'll heal, different things that you can do depending on who you are, but you can't do that against an ultimate. You just take the hit. But it is so neat. I absolutely love this game. If somebody says, oh, let's play Dice Throne, I'm in. And then I've got the Slam Throne now, so the Dice Throne pogs, and well, it's funny because I've played it many times in its prototype form, and I don't think I ever hit the Pogs, but I own it now, and we play. And I did kind of good, I was like actually hit it, and you're trying to. The whole thing about this whole line, I love. I just absolutely love. And I didn't get X-Men, but if it happens to fall in my cart, who knows? But that is my number 8 dice throne.
Nice. I really do want to try the Pog. The Pog.
Oh,
version.
yes. Next time you're over, let's do it.
Yes. Add it to the list.
We'll add it to the list. All right, on to Lucky 7.
Okay, so my number 7 is After Us. And my nephew was visiting recently, and he comes and he just pulls games off my shelf that he wants to play. And then I go, yeah, I could teach you that one right away. I could teach you that one right away. And that one I'm going to have to reread, but we could, probably get through it in 20-minute teach.
Right.
And this one, I'm like, oh yeah, I could teach you this one, no problem. I just have to skim the rules real quick.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of basically Planet of the Apes, the deck building
100%,
game.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the graffiti art that's in this too. So thematically, humans are all gone. We have left all of the remnants of our technology, and now the apes have taken over. So there's chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, and the other ones that start mandrills.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Is that the monkey, or is that a bug? Mandrills?
No, I think Mantis is a bug.
Okay, thank you. I speak English as my only language. Good job, Mel. Thank you. So yeah, each of the different apes they have 2 decks of cards. They have a level 1 and a level 2 deck. And so those will be set up on the board. And they have different abilities. So the orangutans will give you energy. The mandrills will give you points. The chimps will let you redo things, and the gorillas give you rage. And so when you start, you have your player board, this the sort of long board with the numbers on it. That's your player board there. And then you start out with a few different resources, which are flowers and fruits and grains and energy, which I'm not really sure where. I guess they must be batteries, I guess.
They're batteries, yeah.
Yeah, because they look like the ones you don't touch your tongue to. Yeah, so basically you start out with these little orange monkeys. So you can see like the chimp and then this orange monkey. And I'm not going to remember. I think that's a tamarin? Starts with a T. Sure. Anyways, we obviously are not great ape knowing people here. No. But yeah, so you start out, that's just like your base cards. And what you're doing is they have on the left and right of them, they have resources or sort of things that are triggered by resources. And what you're going to do is you're going to line it up to the card left and right of it. And you close the circle, the box. And if the box is closed, then you gain those resources. So you start from the left and go right, and you go the top line, then the middle line, and then the bottom line. So I could see here just on that first little chimp, you get 1 orange fruit, a battery, a flower, another orange fruit, a flower, etc. And then as you upgrade the cards from the little orange monkeys, you'll get, you can upgrade to buy cards that are the different apes. So yeah, so after you go through and gain all your resources, then the next thing you're going to do is not sure what it's called, but essentially you're gonna grow your tableau or buy another ape. So you'll have to choose between the level 1 and level 2, and the level 1 is you have to pay 3 resources of the same type. If you want the level 2, then you have to have 6 resources of the same type.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you're getting the orangutan, for example, those ones use the fruit. So you'd need the 3 orange fruit to get the level 1. And then the cool part about this game is you take the card that you bought and you put it on top of your deck. So you know next round you are going to get energy from the orangutan. So you can kind of set it up a little bit. You don't know what the next 4 cards, the next 3 cards after that one will be, but yeah. Oh, I lied. I skipped a step. You have to pick your little pogs that are at the bottom, which is saying which card you're going to buy.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, you also get the resource that's on the little pog. And then, yes, then you get your resources, and then the other player can follow if they wish by spending 2 of any resource. So if I pick the orangutan, like I said, I get 2 energy from the little pog, and then if the other player wanted to follow, they'd spend 2 of any resource, and then they could also gain 2 energy. Yeah. And so then, yeah, you add that in, and then you draw your next 4 cards, and so on. So the thing about the gorillas is they have this rage, and that's your rage tracker on the bottom, the 1 through 12. And that's how you shed cards. So if you have, I think it's 4.
4 rage.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
4 rage. Shed. Yeah. If you have 4, then what you can do on the top right of the card, you can spend the 4 rage, and then you would gain whatever. And now my bird is mocking me again. You would gain whatever is in the top corner. So if it's the, it's mostly point. I think it's always points. So I think you get a certain number of points for that. And then, yeah.
Such a neat game.
It is. It's so good. I'm trying to remember. I just played it. What the game end condition is.
I think it's reaching point.
Oh, yes. Yeah. When I think it's 70 or 80. So yeah, the first person to reach there. And actually my nephew, he blew past me.
Oh,
and I was
no
like,
way.
Oh my gosh. And I was like, I just taught him. I'm like, I didn't even get like the first win. But actually at the end of the game, because I had stored up enough rage, I was able to clear enough of my, and I beat him by like something like 2 or 3 points or something like that. So yeah, it was like, nice. All right, that's good. So yeah,
this is like the only game I have seen where you draw your cards and you can arrange them, trying to create a pattern that you want to activate. And I found that so satisfying. It's such a neat game.
Yeah, I really like it. It's really tricky, I think, when you first start, but it starts to get easier kind of as you go.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, so that's my number 7 after us.
Wonderful. All right, my number 7 is another one that makes Carla's list all the time. And this is Anno 1800. So now I'm kind of discovering that I'm a huge Martin Wallace fan. Most of the time I play Martin Wallace games. I absolutely love them. So this one, and it was at the Rocky Mountain Retreat, not this year, but last year that this came up. And then we started playing this at 11:30 at night, which was a mistake to learn a game you had not played before. But here's a picture of it when we were playing it. But it was so interesting. Like, it's very much like you start and say, okay, I have these businesses that can generate these goods, and then you have these kind of low-level employees that can activate all of these. And then you can combine the goods that you're making to go and acquire more businesses that you're going to add to your board, or cover up what's already there and then start generating different or better, kind of more efficient resources. And then you're going to use those new resources that you're creating to go and get new business so you can make even bigger, better resources. And then you're going to need something that you don't make yourself, but that's okay. Buddy over there is making it, so I can pay them gold for their resources, and I can use that resource to go and acquire more stuff so I can add onto this. And then as you're doing this, you're kind of need kind of higher value workers to kind of activate all these new fancy factories that you've built or whatever. And so you're going to need to upgrade some of your workers as well. Now, I enjoy economic games, and this one is such a cool one. It is neat. Then you have these other exotic resources that we cannot make at all, and you need to go and travel and trade with these exotic merchants so that you can get these foreign fancy things. And then you can get those, and then you can utilize them to get like cards that's going to give you things, and then the money, the like everything about this game was so interesting and satisfying, other than the fact that I am dead tired and I'm having some struggling trying to learn this, and I ended up losing by a lot, like a lot. But, and I don't think I own this one yet, but I will. This one is one that I would absolutely love to own.
You should own it, and then we should play it like in the afternoon, because I also learned this very late at night. Wait, where did you say, when did you learn it?
Mountain Retreat.
You didn't play it? Oh no, I guess it was Cherry and Ashley and Carla and I. It's like, because we played it at quite late at night at when we went to Invermere.
Oh, I see.
Yes, also lost badly.
It's not one that you should, let's put this out and let's learn this game after 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
This is a daytime game. But it was so neat, and I did enjoy it quite a bit.
Actually, so Ashley recommended that I try the video game because it's based on a video game.
Right.
And actually, having played the video game, I think I understand the board game better. So, yeah, would definitely like to play again. That is a very good choice.
Wonderful. So that was my number 7, Anno 1800.
Nice.
And we're almost halfway there, so we're on to number 6.
Okay, my number 6, this one was a little bit of a surprise to me. This one was Villagers. I also played this towards the end of the year. It was on my shelf of shame. I don't even know. Oh, actually, I do remember why. So this one actually Palmetto had for sale, and they had like the full like bundle pack, and it was just like a little bit more than I was wanting to spend on a game I didn't know anything about. Right. And yeah, my spouse was like super interested, and I was like, ooh, and I was like reading reviews, and I was like, I don't know if you're gonna actually like this game. So we didn't buy it, and then we heard some good things about it, and then I was like, oh, we should have bought it, and then Palmetto didn't have it anymore, and so I found this one secondhand for I think like $20, and Travis picked it up for me in Calgary.
Nice.
And this one, actually, the one that I got, it comes with a few expansions. It doesn't come with like the player mat and all that jazz, but that is a-okay. That means it fits on my shelf much easier.
Right.
And so on this one, you're building a medieval village after a plague. And so you're going to have this road that people are walking on, and you're going to recruit villagers from the road and try to build essentially a production chain of people. So you want to have, somebody that does lumbering, a miller, I don't know, a lumberer. And then they...
Well, it says lumberjack on the card here.
That's it. Yes, thank you. Yes, so thank you. great with words today. So you have a lumberjack that then, does that, and then it goes to the carpenter, and then the carpenter then makes a cart. And so then you have a cart maker. And then as you kind of progress up that production chain of people, then you earn more gold/victory points. So it's played over 3 phases that you do repeatedly. So you're going to do the draft phase, where you select the villagers from the road. And then how you know how many you draft is based on 2 is the base number, plus you get bonuses for food. So if you have a certain number of food, then you get to collect more people from the road to a max of 5. And then the drafted cards go into your hand. So it's kind of like hiring people for your village. Then
Mm-hmm.
in the build phase, you're going to play the villagers from your hand into your personal village. So you can again place base 2 plus whatever you have for builders. If you have any builders, then those add on to the how many you can build to a max of 5. And then they have to be placed in those production chains. So yes, like lumberjack, and then a wheeler, and then the wheeler to a cartwright, right? So, and it shows, it kind of confused me at first, but it does actually have, once you understand the system, a pretty good breakdown of how many cards there are and the chance of you being able to get those cards.
Right.
And you can also convert cards. There's like these base cards that you can get, which are the lumberjack, the miner, and the hare, because those are a lot of like the base for starting a lot of these.
Yeah.
And then you can also play the special action cards. I think with the one I have, you don't have a lot of special action cards, but they do come up, and I think more as you kind of add on higher production people.
Neat.
Yeah, so then that build phase is organizing your workers into basically functioning industries. And then the last part is the market phase. So that happens twice. So there's a little marker when you run out of the first, I think it's the first 2 stacks, or maybe it's the first 3. Anyways, when you run out of a certain number of stack, that triggers the first market phase, and then you're going to score based on the gold printed coins on your cards in the village. And then at the end of the game, when all the stacks are gone, you score again all the gold plus the silver abilities, and then there's going to be additional bonuses, and then you combine everything to get your final sort of total. So you're cashing in the village economy, and the person with the highest amount wins.
Nice.
So it's different. Like I don't think I can compare this to another game I've played in the way that it does both that build up and then the scoring, because you kind of only score twice, but because you're trying to focus on build, it's really it's an odd balance. And I only played it, I think I think I've played it 3 times now. And like the strategy is interesting because
Yeah.
you're there is definitely a sense of chance because of the drawing of the cards. So you can't bank on the fact that you're going to be able to get that all the way up to the the Cartwright, right? You can't say for sure you're going to get that, or maybe the other team or the other person that you're playing against will take that card. So like
Mm-hmm.
there is a bit of chance to it, but there is definitely a strategy as well. So the first time I played it, I was like, huh. And then the second time I played it, I was like, oh, because we played it almost right away. And then, yeah, the third time we were like, okay, like yes, there 100% is chance, but because of how it scores, you can definitely strategize because it's
That's
not,
cool.
yeah, I would recommend it. There's another version from the same company called Moon. And I would really like to try that one as well.
Well, I'm glad it's so high on your list because this is on my shelf of shame.
Oh yes, you should definitely get it off your shelf of shame. It is good. So yeah, that's my
Perfect.
number 6, Villagers.
Great. My number 6 is the very first modern board game that I played other than Catan. And that must have like been like, okay, that sparked something, and that spark has survived this whole time. And that is Lords of Waterdeep. There's just something about this game that works so well. So it's a worker placement game at its core. You have your workers, you're going to place them on these different things to acquire. And I guess you're acquiring people. These little cubes are people. Apparently, I thought they were resources, but whatever. So you're going to, at the core, grab these cubes and different colored cubes, and then you're going to have these quests that to accomplish you need to have a combination of these cubes and golds and different things. And then when you have what you need, then you can complete that quest, and then you can kind of go get more quests. And then those quests are going to give you reward of some sort. They're going to be worth points. They could give you an ongoing ability sometimes, and we all have like a secret mission, and it's possible that it goes towards that secret mission, and at the end of the game is going to give us bonus points as well. And then you can go and acquire building, and these buildings are great because it's going to give you a new spot that you can send workers, and if somebody else uses a building that you have built, you get a reward for them to use that. And that's always neat. But I had played this game and I was like, what is this? And then I was playing it with my brother's copy, and he's like, I know. He's like, we didn't realize there were these games out here. So then, and now just open the like Catan for a lot of people is what people get into, but it's not one that pushes people into the hobby. They just content with Catan and they play Catan and again and again. I played this one and I was like, I want more games. And then I went looking for modern board games, and this is what created this whole mess. So 100% worth it though. Then I hadn't played it in a really long time. And now I've moved to a new village in Acme, like years ago now. And then I got like new board game players, and I was like, oh, well, let's play this one and see what you guys think of it. And then it was like the same. Like, I was like, what is this game? This is amazing. And I was like, I know. So I'm glad that this one is such a spark creator. Like, to me, I think if it's like you want to get somebody interested in the hobby, this is a great game to show them. And it's simple enough to play, but it feels strategic enough. And it's like, and every action is so interesting in what you're going to do. Like, it just, everything about this game works. I still love it to this day. And it's actually just got a new insert for it that a friend of mine 3D printed. And it's going to be easier to kind of get to the table and playing, and you mostly takedown. Like, takedown's going to be way easier. But nice. I just love this one. And that is my number 6, Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, good pick. I just recently played that one. I think nope, it would have been 2 years ago. I would have played that for the first time.
For like the first time? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Was it with me?
Yeah. No, it was at Cartree. It was maybe 3. I'm trying to remember when Carla and John sold the restaurant. Was it 2 years ago?
Was it that long ago? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I think it was at the last car treat at the restaurant that I played this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know Carla played this for the first time with me.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I was like, what do you mean you haven't played Lords of Waterdeep? Oh my God. And when the Dungeons and Dragon movie came out, I was like, okay, I'm playing this again. Like, that makes for a perfect game, movie, theme
combo.
Night. Yes. But yeah, so that was my number 6. So now we're halfway through this one, and we're on to number 5.
Okay. So my number 5, moving into the best of the best, is Moonrakers. Ba-da-da-ba. Man, I just recently got this game. Ashley is a gem of a human. We found it at the castle place, Mission Fun and Games.
Okay, yeah.
When we went to the the event with you there.
Oh, right, right.
So yeah, I was just like, oh, I think I could get my family into this. And I was like, you really think you could get your family into this? And I was like, well, yeah, probably. And it's this huge box, and they had it on like a ding and dent sale,
Oh,
and it was
yes.
like stupid cheap. And I was like, I can't afford it right now. So I was like, that's sad. So I actually bought it, and then Ashley's like, well, if I don't want it, I'll sell it to you. And it was like a week later, and Ashley's like, do you want this game? I was like, oh, Ashley. I was like, did you just buy this game so that I could buy it from you? And she's like, no. And I was like, that's a yes. So yes, then I just bought this game from Ashley. So now I own it, and it's like sitting beautifully, showing off in the one space that I can show off my game on my little cupboard area there. I love this game so much. Cherry has it, and every time we have a card treat and Cherry brings it out, I want to play this game.
Nice.
Basically, you're a mercenary spaceship captain, and you're trying to get to 10 points by completing space contracts. But it's a deck builder / negotiation / risk management game. So basically, each turn you become the mission leader, and your turn has 3 parts to it. So you have the planning phase, where you can either pick a contract or stay at base. So if you pick a contract, you're going to choose a mission, and there's different types of missions, which may matter if you have a certain mission or an objective that tells you to pick a certain kind of mission. So there's like rescue, delivery, combat, exploration. And then once you pick that, you're going to decide whether you're going to do it alone or invite others as allies. So if you invite others as allies, then you're going to kind of negotiate, because there's different things that you get with the contract. So there's like prestige points, which is what you want. You want 10 prestige points to win. Credits, which is the money you use to buy things with, or cards, which help build up your deck. And then also on that, it will have hazard dice. And so you're also going to negotiate who is going to take those hazard dice. So once you've figured out the negotiations, if you're going to do the contract, then you kind of move forward with that. But your allies don't have to be helpful. So they can kind of backstab you if you want. So that's kind of a weird twist. I feel like generally in our group, with maybe the exception of Travis, most people are pretty trustworthy.
100%.
Yeah. And the really frustrating part is, it's like, I think I can trust him this time. And then, nope, no, you cannot. Yes. So if you do the pick the contract part, then the people that have the hazard dice, they're going to roll the hazard dice, and then they know what they're going to take for hazards or have to sort of block with shields. So in your hand, you'll have a certain number of cards, and they let you do different things. So the reactors let you have different actions, because you get 2 actions. So if you play a reactor card, then you have used 1 action, and then it gives you 2 more actions. So then you're back to 3 actions. So then you can play more cards, etc., which is, then there's damage. And they're all kind of color coded based on the contract. So you might have to play 3 reactors and 2 shields, let's say. So you play the 3 reactors, which are blue, I think, and then 3 shields, which are green. So you play the 3 shields, but if we're going to try and negate the hazard dice, you also need shields to be able to cancel those out. And so, yeah, if you complete the contract, then whatever you agreed on gets paid out. So, I get 1 prestige point, you get all the credits, and I take the hazard dice because I'm taking the prestige. So that's kind of how that works. And then, yeah, if you can't block the hazard dice, then you're going to lose prestige. So if you're at 0 prestige, no big deal, then you can't go below 0. But let's say you're at 3 and you're ahead of everybody, and then you lose 3, then you're back at 0. So that's not good. Yeah, and then if you have money, then you would go into the buying phase on your turn. So you can spend the credits earned from the contracts, and you can buy ship parts, which upgrade your ship permanently and lets you have different things that you can do, like bonus rolls, or when you do certain things, then this happens, etc. Or you can add crew, and crew are on the harder contracts. Card types that you need to complete a contract, and they also have powerful abilities. So, like whenever you bring an ally on, you get to have an extra action or something like that. Um, yeah, and then after you get 10 prestige points, whoever gets 10 prestige points first wins. The thing that I kind of skipped was also the stay at base. So if you chose not to do a contract, then you can also stay at base. So you don't do a mission, and then you'd gain a credit, and then you get new objective cards. So at the end, you can also get these objective at the end of the game, or towards, well, something that might trigger the end of the game is an objective card, because objective cards also lead to prestige. So if it's like have 3 objective cards or complete 3 objective cards, then
Right.
that could be the thing that pushes you over to the edge. Instead of getting 3 points, you get that third one, and then okay, then I also finish this fourth one, and then now bam, instead of 9 prestige points, I have 10. I win. And actually, so this one, like I have the Titan box, which is huge. It has a bunch of different expansions in it. I've only ever played with the one expansion with Cherry, but I really want to play with the other ones. If you have played this before, Carla and Cherry and I played this in an hour. Like, I was like, I need to
Nice.
go. So do you think we can play this an hour? Cherry's like, Carla's like, I think we can. And I was like, I don't know. And so, yeah, we just like boom, boom, boom. And yeah, we did it in 1 hour. Yeah, it was fun. I love this game so much. This picture, I think this is when we were in Invermere, and
Yeah.
Cherry and I wanted to play it, and we had too many people, and some people hadn't played it, so then we played it in teams. I think it
Yeah.
either like I think the people that had played it before, like I had a ton of fun. I was also playing with Bernie, but I don't think Bernie had played it before, and I don't think he loved it because we were playing in teams. But yeah, that was fun. Anyways, yeah, that's my number 5, Moonrakers.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think I played it that time in teams, me and Carla. And I took the opportunity to be like, you know what, I'm taking a break from games. You do whatever you want for our team.
Yeah, so you were maybe also one of those people where playing in teams was not helpful.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like, I don't know, do I want to play this again? I don't know. Like, I don't remember hardly anything about this game. So all that you just said didn't resonate so much, just because I took kind of like sat back. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go post my pictures. Like, which worked out well. Like, we played a lot that weekend. So,
yeah.
All right. My number 5 is a classic. This is one that I would consider a board game classic that anybody should have or at least play. And it's just perfect. And that is Pandemic. There is something about this game that I absolutely love. I know the pandemic has like, you're done with Pandemic. It had the complete opposite effect for me. But I have Pandemic. Hot Shot, or the North America one, Hot Zone, North
Hot Zone.
America.
Yeah.
I have Pandemic Cthulhu. I have Pandemic The Cure. I have Pandemic Rapid Response. Both of those are like dice version. I've played Pandemic Rising Tide, but I don't own that one. I haven't played the Rome one. I haven't played the Siberia one. So there's more, and I haven't done the Legacies. And the Lords of the Ring, Fate of the Fellowship, which is also a pandemic, was on my list last week. I don't even count those in my pandemic games. There's something about this game that is just works so well. Well. Like, you have these diseases that are spreading across the world, and you need to kind of gather these cards and then connect with the people in the right place so you can exchange cards, unless you have somebody that's able to help with certain things. And you need to kind of get the cards to one person so that they can go to the base and find a cure for this disease. And then now that we have a cure, it's easier to cure the disease, but it's not just gone. You still need to kind of make sure that it stays under control, because whatever something happens, and it's never something good, you take all of the discard cards, and these are all the ones where the disease has already been spread. You shuffle that and you put it on top, so you're going through all those problem areas again. And it's like, oh my god, oh my god. So, and there's like multiple ways to lose, only one way to win. And it works. Like, the anxiety that this game creates is just delicious. Like, I absolutely love it. I remember this picture here. I don't know if it's this picture, but I had a pharmacist friend. I was like, great. I work like I'm a pharmacy tech. You're a pharmacist. We're going to win this. And then we lost in 2 turns. I was like, what happened? Okay, this doesn't count. Let's try again. So we played it again. But I love co-op games that are hard to win. I don't like them when they're too easy. And this one is plenty hard to win, and
Yes.
it's just makes it perfect. I absolutely love it. I love the anxiety that it creates. I love the theme. It's just such a neat game, and that's why I own this one in so many variation, and continue to do so. But Pandemic is just, it's such a great game. And every time I think of my plays of it, I was like, oh, it was so good. So that is my number 5, Pandemic.
I'm a very big Lord of the Rings fan, and I definitely thought when the Lord of the Rings game came out, I was like, okay, that's it. Then I can sell my Pandemic copy. I'll just have the Lord of the Rings one. That'll make sense. I honestly, I don't know as if the Lord of the Rings would get to the table as much as this Pandemic one would, even though the Pandemic
Right?
one hasn't come out since the Pandemic for me. I really like the Lord of the Rings one, but I feel like there's too much fiddliness to it. Like, this one is just so smooth. It
It
is.
is,
It is really smooth.
yeah. Yeah. This one hits the table for me regularly still, so, or the Hot Zone one is a little bit, but yeah. Perfect, beautiful game. All righty, so we're on to number 4, and we're back to you.
All right. So my number 4 is Amalfi Renaissance. So I really wish I had had another chance to play this one to better remember it. Carla and I think so. She taught me this at Card Treat, and then we played it quite a bit on BGA. But I was struggling a little bit when I was making this list on remembering exactly how to play. So, in this one, you're a merchant family in the Renaissance era in Amalfi, trying to rebuild the city's power through trade and art and influence. And it's played over 4 periods where players compete to earn the most victory points. So on your turn, you're going to choose one main action. So you're going to sail the ships to destinations for resource, and you can acquire artwork for points and bonuses, or discover new trade routes, or invite influential characters. The influential characters part was really challenging for me, so that part I was kind of like, I had a really hard time getting those. Carla was kicking my butt with that, and I was like, how are you getting these? But she was so good at the combos, so
Oh, she is like the combo
I
queen.
know she really is. And then you can use their abilities, or you can construct more ships to expand your engine. And I think I focused too much on constructing my ships, because I was like, look, I have all the ships. But somehow she could do more with less. So I need to figure out how to do more with less. But yeah, it's everything is built around the ships that act both as your workforce and also as your currency, and that's why it's so tight. And I'm like, if I have all the ships, then I'll have more currency, but no. Um, so yeah, you're moving the ships between your holds and the bay, and the port. It generates resources like wood and spices and wine and gems and fabric and stuff. And then essentially you're having to manage the flow. That's kind of the key to that, and that's the part that I'm not great at. But it's so scratchy. Like I feel like if I could just be slightly smaller, it would be so much fun. I mean, it is a lot of fun, but like it's, you know, like if I could just get there, if I could get the combos. So it's like this reaching that I really like about it. But yeah, but oh, and this is the other thing. It's like a feed the people game. So between your
Oh, of
actions,
course.
you also have to feed your crews or lose points. So yeah, I'm trying to get ships and I'm trying to feed my people, and that's all I do the entire game, pretty much. Yeah, because otherwise you lose points at the end of each period. And then you score based on these public decrees that reward different strategies. They don't reward mine because it's a poor strategy. Yeah, so you compete for the tiles. They give you major end game points, and then yeah, then you have to try and meet the specific objective goals, like building the fleet, collecting art, and discovering the routes. And then after the 4 periods, the players with the most prestige points becomes the leading force of the resistant Renaissance revival,
Nice.
resistance revival. Just Star Wars Day in my head here. Yeah, so that's a possibly like pretty brief overview, kind of looking through the rules and skimming a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I wish I had had a chance to play it once more before kind of talking about it. But I did really enjoy it. It's super scratchy.
Nice. It's beautiful looking.
It is, yeah. I think there was an older version of this game, and then this Renaissance is like an upgraded or a
Right.
redone or a reskin.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, Carla had it at Car Treat, and she taught it to me, and yeah, I quite liked it. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Wonderful.
About.
My number 4 is probably like the biggest game I purchased in 2025, and I've played it a few times since, and I quite enjoy it, and that is Galactic Cruise. First of all, the way that this game is organized is unreal. It is perfectly put together. Not only is it perfectly put together, you have this little pamphlet that shows you how to put everything together. So there's no guesswork. It's just perfectly organized. I love that about it. Plus, each player has like their little trays with all their component in the shape of a little rocket ship. So that is great. The theme is so neat. So we are a cruise ship company. And look, it's me and you playing this game at Melcon.
Nice.
And we have a cruise company, and we're going to be selling these excursion on these trips out in outer space, and we're going to have these cruise rocket ships created, and we're going to create these ships to have kind of rooms on board that's going to entertain and appeal to the type of guests that we're bringing, whether it's family or adventure or people that are just leisurely. It's like, and then of course we all fight over the board game convention thing to have on a ship. How cool would that be to go on a board game convention in outer space? Like, I'm in. And then you have like the planets that you're gonna stop at. Like, well, nobody's gonna go anywhere. Like, they're staying inside playing games with you.
Yeah, but you have to get up into space, and after watching, did you watch the moon, the
Not
rocket
really,
launch?
no.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the toilet. Okay, I don't even go camping unless there is a toilet and a shower. Okay, And like they're up in the air and they're like, yeah, so the toilet isn't working, and I don't know, it like prior this was like top tier
Oh
toilet
my
that they
god.
had going to space, and you should Google what you have to do to go to the bathroom, especially number 2 in space prior to this fancy toilet,
I
and
did
it is
see this a little bit. Like this was like the thing on Big Bang too, right? Where the toilet didn't work in outer space.
yeah, it happened in real life.
God, that's hilarious.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't happen in this game. In this game, everything goes well. Nobody ever dies. You can't send them unless you have enough oxygen and enough food and enough fuel to kind of get them out and back on this trip. But this is a worker placement game, I would say. You have your scientists and you can send them on these different locations that have the different actions you can activate, and each location has 2 different type of actions you can activate. But you can also kind of add gears where you're kind of building your technology so that you can go on one, but then you can activate one of the 2 actions on either side if you have a gear there. If you don't have a gear there but somebody else has built a gear, so you know the technology exists, you can pay that person to use their technology and utilize those actions so you can kind of get a bigger variety. So it's really interesting where you got to learn the technology, you got to build these rocket ship, and then once you have these rocket ship built, you still need to advertise these trips and get people interested to go on these cruise, and then you send them on the cruise and try to make sure that they enjoy the rooms you have on board, that they stop at the excursions that you visit on the planets along the way, and then you bring them back, and then you kind of keep going and do all of these things. So you need to collect the blueprints for all of those rockets. You got to build the rockets. You got to there's a lot going on. This can be a bit of a long teach, but even though such like a big game, it doesn't feel super complex just because everything fits together theme wise so well. It makes sense. So yes, it's a bigger game, but things are going to make sense as you play. So I think it helps make everything click, and then it's just an enjoyable game. We played it wrong the first time. Just one of the things we're doing wrong. We've learned from our mistake. We're playing it right now, and it's just great. I love it, and that is my number 4 Galactic Cruise.
So, like, just to speak to, like, so it's obviously a huge game, like you can see from that picture on the table. So I played it the first time in March, like just after you got it on March 18th with, it was you and me and Carla played it. And then when we played it here, it was you and Shane and I that played this one, and Travis. And that was in June, so March, April, May. So 3 months later, and you guys played this on the Friday night. And so I was driving from work straight there. But I was running late because my job is what my job is. And I was like, just start without me. I'll be okay. And I was, right? Like you had taught Shane how to do it. And then you just gave me like a quick, like, yeah, remember this, this, and this. And I was like, Kate, let's go. Like win or lose, whatever, right? Like, let's play. And I did okay, right? Like I definitely didn't win, but that's, in terms of, how things go, that's not horrible. I got 3rd, so not bad.
No, that's good. Yeah. I don't remember how we scored in that game, but yeah, it's kind of the first teach is a bit longer, and then there's a huge player aid booklet. Like it's not a player aid thing, it's a whole booklet, but it's very well explained in there. And what I like about it is if you need more, it says go to this page in the rule book for further explanation, so you can know where to, there's no digging around, like it's clearly indicated. But yeah, once you play it again, because it worked so well and made sense, it's like, oh right, okay, that, and it just clicks. So yeah, I'm glad it was like that for you as well.
It's a good one.
Wonderful. So we're on to number 3 now, and we're back to you.
Okay, we'll see how we make out here. My dog is screaming because my spouse is home, but it may have nope. We'll see. So my number 3 is Wingspan, which I'm definitely not surprised that this made my list. I don't know as if I think there was a year there that we didn't actually play it, which is surprising. I
Oh,
think
really?
we usually play it every year because there's something that comes out. Usually every Christmas they have an expansion, and that's a gift that I give my spouse every year. This year they didn't. In 2025, they waited until here just recently. I think February was the release date for their new Hummingbirds expansion. So we
Oh,
played it
fun.
in 2025 just cuz. Oh no, that's a lie. No, we played it around Christmas time because I got all of the little booster packs. That's what it
Right.
was. Yeah. Yep. No, so that's why we played it. Um, I have the big box, and I'm not sure I should have gotten the big box because it doesn't get to the table as much as I wish it did. We really like this game a lot in our household. We love birding. My spouse loves birds. We own birds. Yeah, it's a good game. It's an engine building game where you're attracting birds to 3 different habitats. So you have forest, grasslands, and wetlands. This is just the base game that I'm going over. I'm not going over all the expansions. If you love it, start here, and if you know it, then you'll grow from there. But essentially what you're going to do on your turn is you're going to do one action. You can either play a bird, gain food, or lay eggs, which is determined by the different habitats. So if you're going to play a bird, then you're going to do that in the top part. If you're going to gain food, you're going to do that in the middle, and if you're going to lay eggs, you do that at the bottom. Nope, that's wrong. Bottom. Anyways, three different habitats. Each of them do a different thing. Oh, and then no, there is a fourth thing. There is draw bird cards. So no, that is right. Yeah, very top is play a bird, gain food. Yeah. Nope, I was right. I just missed one. Yeah. So on your turn, you're going to choose an action, and then you have these little cubies. And at the start of your turn, you have 8 cubies, and then by the end of the game, you're only going to have 5 to work with, because you use those to score end round goals. So if you choose, for example, play a bird card. So if I wanted to play a bird in that bottom wetlands row, I would put it in the very top above that top card, which was a little bit challenging for us when we first started playing because we were new to games and we're like, where are we supposed to put this? So yeah, you put that in that row there. And then you resolve the actions from right to left. So you move your cube across the row and then trigger bird powers as you go. And then the cube stays on the left-hand side just to indicate what you've done and that your cube has been used. And then the other player goes and so on. So if you're gaining food, then you're going to take dice from this cute little bird feeder with these like really nice wood custom dice, and then you're going to gain the food tokens. The food tokens can be used to play birds, and also for different putting them on stacking of resources. That some birds will have like a bird power that says, at the end of the game, these are each worth 1 point, something like that. So in the grasslands, you'll lay eggs, and the eggs are also used to, when you play a bird, sometimes depending on the column, you might have to pay the cost of the eggs to put those on there. And then the wetlands, which is the bottom row, that's where you draw cards. And that's how you get more cards to build up your hand to play down on the tableau. So yeah, like I said, when you start, you're going to have 8 turns, and then by the round 4, you're only going to have 5 little cubies to place. So as you go, you get actually fewer actions. And then after all the cubes are used up, you're going to score your goals, and birds, obviously, eggs on birds, cached food. That's what it's called. Cached food. Tucked cards. So if you have like vultures vultures is the easiest one. Birds that eat other birds, then you can tuck other birds underneath those, and those will score as points. Bonus cards, and then end of round goals, and whoever has the most points wins. So yeah, I really like this game a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure.
Yeah, quick overview, but I mean, they have, depending on your liking. I mean, I know that they say with Stonemaier that it's not a reskin, but I mean, there's definitely variations. But the gameplay of the deck builder and the tableau builder, more tableau than deck builder, tableau builder. You have the worm span for dragons, and then the fin span for fish, and we have the fin span one. I've played the worm span one. I don't love the worm span one as much. This one still is definitely easily our favorite.
It's probably the most similar as well.
Yeah, for sure. Did you see the April Fool's joke about the X wingspan with the Star Wars? Yeah, I'm very disappointed that doesn't exist.
Right.
Stonemaier, get on that, please.
Nice. All right. So that was your number 3. My number 3 is a game that makes my top list almost all the time because I just love it. And I couldn't tell you why, but that is Memoir 44. I've played this for the first time with my brother, and he was like, we need to play this. It's an amazing game. And then I played it with him, and finally, but it's a 2-player game. So it's like, as soon as there was a group, we're like, well, hold on, let's wait till we're just the 2 of us. So I made a point of going to visit him, and we played it. And then I hunted down my own copy right away. And I was like, I need this game. And I absolutely love it. But for like, it's a battle game. You're replaying the Battle of Normandy, and I don't know, like, I'm not army buff or anything that appeals to me, but this game did it so well. And you have your board, it's divided in 3 sections. You're going to play the scenario based on the battle that you're replaying, and then you put your troops in the different areas, and you put your terrain the way that it was, and then you say, okay, this is what was happening, this was a mission, so you get points for capturing the enemy's units. So you would get points for that. But then maybe you need to secure the bridge. And if you secure the bridge, you get a point for securing the bridge. And like, depending on the scenario, then you have these cards, and the cards will kind of give you orders that you can give out to your units on the board, but depending on which sector they're in, because this was a long time ago, communication wasn't perfect, right? So maybe you want to move them, but you're not able to get the order out to them just yet. So you're going to need to kind of who you're able to communicate with. It could be like, hey, well, you can move a troop in the left segment for 3, and then you do 3. And then if you're within range, then you can battle the enemy. Then you would roll the dice. And if you roll a star or their unit icon, you're creating damage. But then if they're in the trees, then they're covered, so then they have like higher, like, it's amazing. And then you have all these little guys, and then somebody had reached out to me because I had joined the Memoir 44 Facebook group, and he reached out to me, says, I'd like to send you some 3D components that I created. And he has all of these like plaster molded components that are hand painted, like, it's amazing. And then I put that on my second. It looks so good. So good. But this plays fairly quick, 30 minutes, an hour per scenario, like, and it's satisfying. And I absolutely love it. I don't do expansions, but I have bought expansion for this game just because I love it so much. But that is my number 3. Such an amazing game, Memoir 44.
Nice.
Have you played this one?
No, you talk about it a lot, and I would very much like to play it, but it's very rare that it's just you and I that play, and usually when it's just you and I, it's at the end of the night.
You should stay in the guest room, and then we can play it in the morning.
It's true. Yes, I really need to organize my life better. Yes.
All right, so on to number 2.
All right, number 2, second to number 1. And I'm
Yes.
going to butcher the explanation of this because I have not played it in a long time, but Carla and I have shared custody of this board game. This is River of Gold.
Oh yes.
So, yeah, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Carla has been hogging custody, although in Carla's defense, I have not asked to play it because I'm scared Bailey's not going to like it. So, I'm going to be really upset because I really like this game a lot. So,
Mm.
yes, I'm going to butcher the explanation. It does have a little bit of a longer teach, but essentially you're competing clans, moving ships down a river and building structures, fulfilling customer orders, and racing for points over 2 eras. So you're going to have customer contracts, your influence in certain areas, buildings, and masteries, which are kind of like achievements that are all going to contribute towards your win conditions. So each turn at the start, you have the option. So there's this dice here that you'll have rolled, and that will determine a lot of your different actions. So if you want to modify it, then you have to spend favor. Um, and the favor is if you have, well, I'm trying to remember here. There's the sun part of it is how much you have, and the moon is how much you can hold. So you spend plus or minus to modify the dice, which can then impact what happens. So that's the first thing you can do. Second thing you can do is pick one action of build, sail, and deliver. So if you build, then you're going to spend the in-game currency and place a building on the shore space matching that dice icon. So that might be where one reason why you might want to change it. And then you can gain influence, movement, rewards, and sometimes divine favor bonuses. So that's kind of the engine building plus scoring infrastructure part of that. So that's build. And then sail. So down the middle of the board, there's a river, and you can move your ship down the river the number of spaces on the dice value. Second reason why you might want to change it. If you want to go to spot number 3 and you roll a 4, you might want to minus 1 to make it be the 3. And then you would collect rewards from that space or from the spaces that you pass. And then other players can also gain bonuses from your movement as well, depending on what they have in those build spaces. So this has some player interaction in it and helps you gain resources, and resources can be pretty tight in this game. And then the third, so that's sail, and then the third thing is deliver. So then you can play a customer card or contract, and again, it must match the dice requirement. And then you would pay what the contract has for the trade good requirement, and then you would gain the immediate reward, and then any ongoing abilities for some of the cards, or some things that you'll gain an ongoing ability, and then some of them will also have end game scoring. So depending on which there, yeah. And then that's your scoring engine. Sorry, my spouse is outside waiting for our dog to be quiet. And then the third thing after, so you can change your dice and choose to take one of the actions, and then after that you can, if you're eligible, claim masteries. So there's these shared goals, and whoever basically does the shared goal the fastest, there's a race aspect to it. First come, best reward. Second best reward, etc. So like most buildings or most influence, blah blah blah. And then the last thing you'll do is you're going to roll the dice, and then that's going to determine what you get to do for your next turn, which is nice, especially if there's more players. Then you have time to kind of plan out what you're going to do. So Yeah. So then after the era 1, there's a certain deck that will run out, and then it moves into the era 2, and then after that deck runs out, then that does the end game trigger, and basically you get points for your buildings, your masteries, your influence, and your customers. And then the person with the most points wins. That is like the most really basic overview of how to play it. But it's very pretty, extremely
Very pretty.
thinky. Yes, very
Yeah.
thinky. Definitely has some like combo opportunities. Highly recommend checking this one out.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only played this one once now. That's a picture of it. I have my own copy, so I do need to get this played again. But I remember playing it with Carla, and I was like, oh, okay, this is good. It was neat, kind of trying to decide there's neat decisions in this game for sure.
Yeah, I really like it.
Perfect. All righty. My number 2 is a game that Carla really dislikes. And she would oftenly say how much she doesn't like it. So I was like, oh, well, I don't think I want to play it. And then I went to Card Treat, but Cherry really likes it. And then she was playing it. And then it's like, hey, do you want in on this? She's like, you know what? Yes, I do. Let's see what this one is all about. And it made it all the way to my number 2. So obviously Carla's wrong. But it's because it's space theme, and that's the theme she dislikes the most.
Yeah.
But SETI is such an amazing game. So neat. So it's one of those like that has a lot going on. And then you kind of start like, I don't know, like you have the sun and you have like these spinning things, and you're kind of setting your satellite, trying to send them onto the different planets. And then once you get to the different planets, you're trying to kind of find intelligence in space, and you will eventually find 2 alien species, and then you're going to interact with that species and trying to get, but kind of, and then there's different ones. You play with different ones every time, and they're going to play differently. So I've only played this the one time so far, and we had these 2 aliens. I don't even know how many different aliens are in like the base games, but
there's 4.
There's 4, and then you can get extra that you can add more. So I bought this game since. I just haven't played my own copy yet. But it was neat because we would have some people that really concentrated on the spinning board thing, and then kind of, because there's like an area control aspect to that, and when a segment fills in, you get to kind of score that, and then that definitely gave a lot of points. And then from there you can kind of send and go onto the planet or the moon surrounding those planets, and then you can kind of, I don't know, like your tokens that you would put on there, and then kind of get points that way. And then you can then kind of go and concentrate on discovering these alien whatever that they do depending on the alien that you got. And we were really concentrating on different things when we're playing. Some people are really kind of spending. I wasn't, because you can develop more, I don't know if it's satellites or spaceships or whatever, but you can kind of bring out more out of there. And then I really did very little of that. I kind of did the outside area control aspect, and I really went heavy on the one alien technology. And I don't know if I won, but I did well. And it was neat because, yeah, like there's different things you can kind of concentrate on, and that can be equally rewarding as doing something else. So based on that, I don't know if Lee will like it. Lee very much prefers game that has like an obvious goal of what you should be working on. And when it's too much going on at once, it's kind of like, I don't know what to do. And I get it. When I played, what was it? Space something, or like I played one where it was just very unclear as to what am I trying to accomplish. And I didn't get that feeling with SETI though.
Yeah.
Steady just seemed to be more obvious as to what you're trying to accomplish, and I absolutely loved it. So that is my number 2. SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I have to play that one again. So if you're having a
Yes.
day that you play SETI, let me know. Also, did you get the little light up sun?
I don't think so.
Well, it doesn't come with the game. There's just like
Then
something
yeah,
that
no,
you
I
can get
didn't.
off. There's like a $2 thing on Amazon that you can get that you just put underneath your sun and it turns it on.
Oh,
I
I so yeah.
Chris Runa and Chris bought one, so you
Right.
could ask him and he could make sure that
There
you
you
have it.
go. I think Jerry had it, so yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful. So that's now we're on to our number 1, the very best of the best of all of the games we played in 2025. And Kayla, what was it for you?
Okay. All right. This should come to no surprise if you have been here through 100 to now. It is, in fact, a trick taking game. It is the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring trick taking game. I
Nice.
freaking love this game. I'm going to check right now. My number of plays on this game is absolutely ridiculous. It's the last I checked, it was 75.
Wow.
And yes,
That's a lot.
yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. Um, it was, yeah, we played it a lot. I'm at 82 plays for this game.
Nice.
Yes, and we're stuck on chapter 16. So hopefully we will get past chapter 16 so that we can move on. I bought
The 2 towers.
the Two Towers one of this. So yeah, very
Nice.
excited to get that one to the table. So in this one, it's actually a cooperative trick taking game. So it would be like I think is it no, it's not Underwater Cities. There's another one that's like this. It's
Yeah.
underwater something. So in this one, each
The
chapter,
crew.
the crew, that's it, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So each chapter of the game, and it's actually, if there's anybody that's a Lord of the Rings fan, it's based off of the books. So the chapters are based on the books. And you get a character with a personal win condition. So you don't just try to win tricks or win the most tricks. You have to ensure that every character's goal are satisfied by the end of the round. If even one person doesn't meet their goal, then everyone loses the chapter. So to set up, each player gets a hand of cards, and you choose your character, so you can look at your cards and be like, ooh, like I don't think I should be Frodo, or well, Frodo is usually picked by whoever has the One Ring. There is some cases where that might not be the case, but Frodo, I would say 99% of the time is playing in the chapter. I think there's one chapter that we've been in that he wasn't necessarily in. I think he was playing as Mr. Underhill. So then you have the opportunity. It says who can trade with who. So then you can trade cards if that makes sense. Sometimes that can be a good way to be like, I do not have any hills. So I'm going to give you my one of hills so that you know I don't have that. And whether the person understands that that's what you were trying to communicate or not is a totally different story. But if you have 82 plays with your spouse, and they don't understand that by 82 plays in, then you have a communication problem. So the trick taking part is very standard trick taking. Someone leads a card and that sets the suit, and then everyone must follow that suit if possible. Typically speaking, Frodo is going to start, and then the highest card in the lead suit is going to win the trick. The winner takes the trick and then leads the next trick. There is a special twist with the ring suit. So normally you can't lead with rings until until it's been sort of broken. You've been able to play off suit, and now rings. You were able to play a ring, and now rings are in play. But the one ring that rules them all is wild and powerful. So you can declare it wins a trick immediately if you choose, or you can also choose that it doesn't win the trick, right? So you can choose that it acts as a one. So you can either say, yep, I'm the one ring to rule them all, or yep, this is a one. Basically, you're just sloughing the ring. So it's kind of like a delayed trump system with a bit of a boss card kind of vibe. So the character goals, they really vary, and there's a ton of different characters that as you go through the book, you can play so many of them. Some of them will be like win exactly X number of tricks, or win at least one trick, or win the fewest tricks, or win the last trick using a forest card, right? Like there's like some of them get like quite specific. Like Sam, his is usually you have the Black Riders, and those you draw, and let's say you always draw it at the start of the game, and let's say you draw the Black Rider 3. Sam has to get the Hills of 3. He has to win that in order to win his thing. So you're kind of always balancing, like, do I win this trick, or do I need to lose this trick in order to make sure that the other person gets their goal? Because if I win this one, then that means I'm probably going to win the next one, which means they're not going to have an opportunity to win, and they really need to win a trick. And so then at the end of the round, you make sure everybody's got their character goals. If they're all satisfied, then the chapter is cleared, and if not, then you play chapter 16 all over again. I mean, then you play the chapter again. So you're not playing against each other, which is really standard for a trick-taking game.
Right.
I've not played the crew. The crew that's the other thing about the crew, is you're supposed to play 3+ players on the crew. After I got this game, I got the crew, and I was like, oh, I really want to play this, but I never have 3 people in my house.
Oh, yes.
So I've not played the crew, but this one you can play solo, and you can play 2 players. So on the 2 player, which is how I've played through the entirety of this game, you have a third player, which is a pyramid, which alternates between visible cards and face down cards. So it kind of leaves a little bit of an element of surprise that way. And the theme of this is amazing. My one critique is the cards at 82 plays really should have been sleeved. They do not hold up well. Like, they're not ruined by any means, but they're definitely showing some shuffle wear.
82 plays, that's unreal.
Yeah, and they have this kind of like odd, kind of like tacky vibe to them. Like I don't know if it's just like oil, like they just attract like your oil from your skin. But, so if you get this game and you like are a person that does like to play through campaigns, we normally do not, but this is the one that we have come closest. I think there's 18 chapters in total. And I think the 16 that we're stuck on might be like 16 and a half. It's the Galadriel expansion that we got. So so if you're going to play it and play it all the way through, and maybe you might not be the best at trick taking games like we are, so there's a little bit of whatever, just sleeve them. I'm not a big sleever. I do not, nothing I own is sleeved. Nothing is sleeved, but this one I would say sleeve it.
Nice. Yeah. I have the 2 towers. I haven't played this version yet. Gosh. And then I was like, well, I should get the first one. So I ordered it, and it arrived, and it was French. And I was like, there's too much reading for that to be okay. Like, I can't, so I returned it.
I think if you read it,
but then I'm not going to be able to read the other people's cards. And so I was like, you know what? It's just not going to worry about it. And then I would find an English copy somewhere, down the road. In the meantime, I have the 2 towers to keep me entertained. So
fair.
But yes, great pick.
Yeah. That's my number one. The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game.
Nice. My number one, and that was the one who was like, okay, well, I have SETI, I have Memoir 44. Like, what's the number one game then? What's better than that? And the game better than that is Dune Imperium Uprising.
Ah.
Oh my God, we love this game. And what's great too is Lee really enjoys this game as well. So we will play it, the two of us. Actually, we're planning on playing games tomorrow. Maybe we should play this. And the first time I played this game, it was like the most epic game ever. Like you score, like I think there's like you see like 10, 11, like I think it maybe goes to 15 points. You're not going to get a ton of points in this game. And when I played it the first time, Travis had triggered the end of the game and he was at the top and I was like quite a ways behind and I caught up. I had like set everything up and it was like ta-da, 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 and I caught up to him. And then we were tied. And then we had to go see what is the tiebreaker. And it was this. And then we were still tied. So we had to go to the second tiebreaker. And I lost by 1 spice.
Oh no.
It was unreal. It was such a like epic. It felt like such like an epic game. Now this is a deck building worker placement game. So you have the different place that you can go and activate, but you're going to need to have that proper card in your hand as you play through your hand in order to be able to do that. So it's like, okay, I really want to do this. Darn it, I don't have that card. I'm not doing this. So at the end of that round, you might want to try to acquire cards that's going to be giving you more of those actions that seems to be lacking. But you also can't do every action unless you've kind of built the like certain things, like you need to build access, like kind of gain enough influence so that you get access to some of those things as well before you can go and do those. And then there's battles. And what's interesting with the battles is it's not always the winner of the battle that gets the best prize. Sometimes second place has like the better thing. So you kind of try to trigger that, and then eventually you can like open the gates, which allows worms to like the sandworms or whatever, like into these battles, but you need to have the hook in order to control the sandworms, and then you can bring them into your battle, so it makes you that much more powerful in your battle, whether you want that or not, depending on what's happening. But it's good. It is so good. It looks amazing. Now, the first time I played like a very deluxe. Everything was like little miniatures. And I got the copy where everything is wooden components, but the worms have like a miniature aspect. And I like that better. Honestly, I think I prefer the wooden components myself.
Okay.
Yeah, then instead of like all the gray miniatures, unless you've taken the time to paint them, right? If you're gonna do like something acrylic components, like where you get the beautiful artwork to show, that is my favorite. Afterwards, my wooden components before miniatures probably. But such a great, amazing game. That had such an epic play. I had to go get my own copy. And I mean, we enjoyed the movie version. Like Lee's reading the books now, and it's just amazing. And that is my number one, Dune Imperium Uprising.
Yeah, see, my spouse really loves the Dune series, read it prior to all the movies and then reread it when the movies came out. And I was like, hey, there's this board game that's supposed to be really good. So bought Dune, the board game, played it, was like, huh. Then realized I bought the wrong Dune board game.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So this is the one I should have bought. But yeah, so there's a little bit of confusion. So if anybody is reading or watching or listening to this and is like, I should buy Dune, make sure that you get Dune Imperium Uprising, not just the Dune game, because there is a big difference. This one,
there's Dune Imperium, and then there's Dune Imperium Uprising, which is like the latest.
I think... let me just look.
I think Dune Imperium and Dune Imperium Uprising are very similar.
Dune. Yeah, we got just Dune.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, not the same.
So Dune Imperium is what you want. Uprising, ideally.
Yes.
All right, so that is it. We have finally completed our top 100 games of all
5
the
months
games we
into
played in
2026.
2025. Honestly, like it's doing top 100 list is quite the commitment. Like I won't commit to board games, but apparently I barely commit to lists. So. And this was my idea, like, and I roped you into it, and I'm glad. I so appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. But honestly, I'm glad we're done. I'm glad we got to the end of it, and we could just play games.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. Perfect. So before we call it quits, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, I'm on Bluesky as March Hatter, Hatter, and I'm on Instagram under Table Turner Games. What about you?
So you can find my my Instagram at mels_boardgame_room. I'm also on Bluesky, YouTube, and Facebook under Mel's Board Game Room. I also do a podcast with my friend Carla called The Board Game Specialist, and we have a Discord for that podcast. So be sure to join us there. We do BGA games every Monday that we kind of chit chat in the Discord as we play on BGA. But there's a lot of conversation happening on there. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. And we will see you at another time for the next top 100, maybe years and years later. Years and years. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.